I did wear knee pads. It didn't help much.
That's with a knee pad on?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Danny, for those of us who've never played defense, how difficult is it to play at the level you guys have been playing defensively for the minutes you guys are doing it, and then still have something left at the offensive end, like just physiologically or physically or whatever, however you want to describe it?
I mean, it wears on you, but we're a young team. This is a Eastern Conference Finals. We had to get after it. Same time, it's different for different people. For me, I think it fuels my rhythm offensively, and it keeps me more active in the game if I'm more active on the defensive side of the floor. That's why I try to request the guard, point guards or guys that are more involved in the game offensively or pick and rolls. But some other guys may wear on them. But I think we did a pretty good job of playing defense initially. We just got to do a better job of finishing the defense, but with the rebound and boxing out, we let them get too many offensive.
Can you walk us through that process of why you think it's better for you to guard better players? Is that historically what you've done well, or? I
just think my defense fuels my rhythm offensively. We can get out and run better, and it keeps me more active and into the game. So it's different for different people. Obviously, offensively, I'm not the guy they're going to draw up a bunch of plays for. So for me, be in rhythm and feel like more involved, and I guess defensively, just taking those assignments.
Has that gotten tougher as the league? I mean, there's so many fast point guards. There's so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to put a hand on anybody anymore. Like that's something that's hard to do in this league.
Yeah. I guess depending on who you're talking about, some guys get more fouls than others. But I try to use my length. Still use whatever quickness I might have. Not much of it left, but I use my size and length to try to slow them down some. And when we have a great big like Mark behind me and Serge, they can guard the pick and roll very well. It helps contain those guards, smaller guards, and not allow them to use their speed as much.
Is there a way to get you more shots, better shots in the offense, not in transition?
Yeah.
And can you explore them with?
I would love to. I would love to explore them. I talked to Kalo about it. We'll figure some things out, get some different things. But all in all, we played a good game. We played a good game up until the fourth quarter. Well, we were playing at a good pace. We moved the ball. We just got to rebound better, not let them get offense rebounds, and keep our pace in the fourth, and just continue to attack the paint and find the open man.
Did that pace in the fourth slow down because of all the minutes you guys have all logged in that 7-game series, do you think?
No, I just think that we couldn't get as many stops as we'd like to. They got to the free throw line. We didn't, and I think that slowed it down. And not be able to get stops and them getting to the free throw line, it slows down your offense. So we got to figure out ways to get stops so we can run on offense. Yeah. And keep the pace and not think of obviously we want to get good possessions down the stretch and get the ball to Kawhi, but we can still do that with our pace.
The first 8 or 9 games, of the postseason, Kawhi was operating at like ridiculous efficiency. The last 4 games, his percentages, averages are down.
That's part of this life. I mean, the numbers that he was shooting at is not something you can upkeep forever. He's playing at a very high level. He's still playing at a high level. Don't get me wrong, but to score the way he was scoring at that efficiency, if he did that for the rest of his career, he'd be known as probably the greatest of all time. That's hard to do. So naturally, the number's going to balance out and figure. But he's still shooting us at a pretty good percentage. But we have to make it easier on him. So we have to continue to run, push the pace, and get looks and different actions for other guys. Give him a break here and there, and find times where we can actually give him a rest on the bench, to where the other team doesn't go on runs. So we got our groups that are on the floor when he's on the floor have to step up and continue to score and play good enough defense to keep them under wraps.
Pascal's been you guys' kind of second offensive option for most of these playoffs, but now he's had Embiid in the last round on him for a whole bunch of time, and now he's got Giannis, who is kind of one of the other 2 or 3 best defensive players in the world. What have you seen of how those matchups have been difficult for him, or how he's succeeded? I mean,
those guys are great defenders.
Yeah.
And Pascal's not a selfish guy where he's going to shoot the ball every time, even though he's open. On the perimeter, he's going to try to continue to run the offense, get guys involved, and attack when he sees his spots. Embiid was different playing off of him, so for him it was a little different of playing his style or keeping the offense going without looking to score, looking to shoot and be aggressive. This one I think Giannis is not guarding off him that much, but he's just a long, athletic guy, so it's hard to get over and around him. But he still can use his quickness and athleticism to get to the paint, get to the rim, and find his angles because he's good at it. But at the same time, I said he's still trying to get other guys involved and play our offensive system.
Danny, we have to talk so much about Kawhi and the season, right? So what does Kyle mean for this team? You see what in terms of last night?
Oh, he's huge. He's huge, and the way he played last night, that's why I think was most disappointing for myself and us collectively of not stepping up and taking care of that game. When he plays that well, we got to win games like that. We got to find other guys to step up and do other things, and not just offensively, but defensively and rebounding. Those little things to help us. But we're going to continue to need him to be aggressive. I think the fingers helped him. They pop out. He's the only one hitting shots for us right now. So hopefully get other guys, get a couple fingers, dislocate, and make some shots.
Tough loss, and we was there, we was close. We did a couple mistakes in the last couple minutes, and it was tough, and also, personally, I think I need to do a better job, so, like I say, 7-game series, right? And I have just to learn from we have just to learn from this, and try to get better next game.
What did you not like about your game, personally?
The energy, because I know every time when I bring my energy on the court, and my teammate, they can feed from that, so I didn't bring that last night, and I'm going to try to do better next game.
When your game's working, Serge, is it about the shots you're getting? Is it about kind of the opportunities, or is it about getting enough minutes so you can kind of get into a rhythm?
It's a little bit of everything,
yeah.
A little bit of everything. The minutes, the shot, and then the energy, a little bit of everything. I had to try to, at least early in the game when I check in, try to bring a little bit of everything. But the most important is the defense mindset. That's really matter. So I had to be out there rebound and defense. Every time when I get a couple of rebounds and play great action in the defense hands, kind of open a little bit, my offense game. So I think it's something I have to be focused on the next game.
The way they defend, is there some opportunities for you offensively? Those little pick and pops, they seem to be willing to give that up a little bit. You're obviously a good mid-range.
Yeah, everything's out there. Everything's out there, and you have to just be, you have to just have your confidence in. And just be ready, But like I say, everything starts on the defense hands, so.
Serge, figuring out defense in the modern NBA is about figuring out ways to stop at the rim and still get out to shooters. Do the Bucks put more pressure on you than maybe any other team at that specifically? I
feel like when I'm in my zone, when I have my energy game up, I can do both. That's why my coaches and my teammates trust me to do that, and because they saw me did it before. I did it before, so I can do it. Like I say again, it's one of the game. My energy level was not there. But my coaches, my teammates, they know I can do it, and I believe I can do both. I can protect the rim and go out there and contest the three-point shots. So.
How have you found?
Do you feel a sense of pressure that in the games where you've been very good or played really well, the Raptors have won every one of them?
Yes, I know it, and I know that, and I told myself last night after loss I have to play better, for my team to have a chance to win. So, and I have to do it, and it's kind of pressure, but it's good pressure because that shows you how how important I am for this team too. So, and it is a big challenge. We only get better when we have challenge in front of us. Without challenge, I will not be here where I'm right now.
Serge, in the fourth quarter yesterday, Kyle was the only one in the field. In the second half, Kyle and Kawhi, outside of the two of them, only one field goal for the entire team.
Yeah.
Was that a wasted opportunity, considering how well you guys were still playing for 3 quarters?
Yeah, we was playing so well early in the game. We was moving the ball, and I felt like we stopping to move the ball a little bit. Also. We had a couple of times where guys have shots, they didn't shoot, So I think we had to shoot those shots with confidence and then try to keep play the right way, like we started in the beginning of the game.
You've had to adjust in terms of your role late in the season, and you've had like some of the biggest moments for this team of anybody in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Is it still difficult to kind of find your place in every game, whereas for so much of the season you kind of knew what your place was in every game?
Every series is different, and different matchups, So, like I said, it's only one game, man. The good thing about a playoff is 7 games, and we have another opportunity tomorrow. And I'm gonna watch film today and learn and then try to be better next game.
Have you looked at the film?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, okay.
I watched it individually,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna watch as a team. So we'll watch the film after we get done with you, great people in the media. So
In the
don't
second
hold me
half,
too long.
I think Eric Smith was looking at something. In the second half, you guys were like 1 of 23 apart from you and Kawhi. So is that just a weird basketball thing, or
No,
is there
just
sort of
missed
things
some
that we're
shots.
breaking down a little bit?
I think we missed some shots. I think we had some opportunities. We missed a lot of open looks, missed layups, open threes. We missed a lot of opportunities to keep up the pace. I think that's what really hurt us. And they started scoring, so they scored, and we took the ball a little slower than we should have. And there's a lot of things that throughout the game that changes through the course of a game. But we let them get more aggressive than us, and they got comfortable.
Is like the mental, when you talk about fatigue, we always think about the body, but if you guys are all playing heavy minutes like that, is mentally, do you lose
No,
your edge
I
a
think
little
we
bit?
got some real professionals in here, and we know what we're doing, and we know how to prepare ourselves. Sometimes the shots just don't fall, and their shots fell. They did a good job of kind of swarming the paint and making us kick out, and we had to make the second and third plays, and sometimes we just miss some shots.
But as much as Kyle, I mean, you guys are professionals and you know how to prepare. It's a really good team. But is there a danger to playing as many guys the heavy minutes that you've been playing them through the playoffs to this point in a series where it's every other day? There's not a lot of rest.
The season is a grueling season. We get paid a lot of money to do this, and we get paid to prepare ourselves for these type of moments, and we get paid to prepare to be ready and to play as best we can no matter what. But that being said, there are a lot of minutes out there that we're playing, and there is some fatigue, but we go back, and like I said, we got some real professionals, and that's what we do. We go back, we get rest, we prepare ourselves, we mentally prepare ourselves to go on to the next game.
When you're tired as a basketball player, where do you see it on the court?
You see it everywhere. I mean, you see it mentally, you see it on the court, shots short, shots are long, you make some small mental mistakes, you give up a back door, you do this, you do that. It's a bunch of different ways you can find the mistakes, but, those are excuses that we don't make.
The defense that you have to play on those guys, helping on Giannis and, and rotating, closing out on the shooters, which you guys did such a good job of through 3 quarters. How physically taxing is that throughout the course of a game?
That's what we got to do. That's how they built their team. They got probably the MVP of the NBA on their team attacking. You got to help on him. You got to keep all the sets of eyes that you possibly can on him. Then rotate and make the X out and do this, that, and the other. But that's what we're prepared to do. And we got to prepare a little bit better and make sure that we get to the shooters and get to the spots a little bit quicker.
Kyle, Pascal's primary matchup for the last 7 games has been 2 of the best defensive players in the world. What have you seen out of them, and how do you keep them involved without playing into their hands defensively?
I mean, P, if he makes a couple more shots, then it's a big difference. It's a big difference in the game. I think he's getting all the shots and looks that he needs to get, and I think if we get him a couple fast break layups, and I think teams are doing a good job of getting back. And yesterday when I had 2 chances to throw it to him, but I didn't throw it to him in that situation. But those are the ones we got to get him easier ones. He's so talented that, we feel like he can score against anybody. He always has the mismatch, but it's about getting the easy looks for him, and that's how we got to get him, keep him going and get him more involved is trying to get him the easier looks.
How different are you guys when he's confident, not only...
I think he's always confident.
Yeah.
I think he's always
Kyle,
confident.
You've been down in a series before. Is this a familiar feel, or is this completely different? And if so, how?
Every game is different. Every series is different.
How's this one
Every
different?
situation is different. We're down 1 game. We have an opportunity to go in here and win a game on Friday and go home and protect our home court. We can't worry about this, that, and the other. We got to worry about what happened. We learned from yesterday, and move forward today and get better for tomorrow.
Is there a way to get Danny? Is there a way to get Danny the equivalent
Yeah.
of the easy buckets you want to get for
Yeah,
Pascal?
I definitely we got to try to get Danny some easy ones, get him going a little bit earlier, not forcing it, but you know, we've been so primarily heavy, you know, on Kawhi and Pascal that, you know, we got one of the best shooters in the NBA and Danny Green, and we got to find ways to get him open and get him some looks to get him going a little bit earlier so he get a little bit of a rhythm. And I think that's when we're at our best, when we got everybody on you know, playing well offensively.
He's a really good transition spot-up shooter.
Yeah.
You need to look for him in that.
Well, I
that,
think
if you can get out and run a bit.
Teams are smart. I mean, this time of year, they're not going to let them get open looks. So we got to figure out how to get in the paint and transition, kick, drive, kick, swing, and find ways and situations to get these guys, you know, get Danny open looks. So, I mean, we'll watch the film and see where we can get better and make an adjustment. One game isn't going to decide the series. You know, that's the one thing about a series is the first of four.
When you walked out of there last night, were you thinking we let this one get away from us? Because it looked like for most of the game you had the better of the play.
We lost. That's what I looked like. That's what I felt when we lost. Didn't matter. We lost the game.
Tail of the tape tell you about last night?
Well, I thought we played really hard, Doug. Really played our guts out. Right. Really proud of our effort. I think there was all the concern about going in there and not being able to handle the emotional high from the other night. And, you know, you've been around me all year. You've heard me say this a lot. This team's handled downs pretty well and ups pretty well. And that's been one of our focuses since day one at training camp. So let's hope we can keep that going a little bit. You know, there were some things as well. We needed to rebound the ball a little bit better, right? Just to make sure. And it's always a little tricky, right, when you kind of start out in a fast-paced game and you're getting so much good stuff early in your offense. Guys get a little anxious to get out in the offense a little bit, and I think we missed some blockouts because of that, and we just got to make sure that we're hanging in there and holding those blockouts and trying to move them back and using a little bit more physicality and securing the ball. That's probably one of the major concerns. And then I think we did a decent job of moving the basketball, but decent's probably not good enough this time of year. We got to do it. We got to do a special job of it. We got to do a job of each time down. You know, when you've drawn one or two or three defenders, you've done your job, right? Your job is to create, you know, them in rotations, and then your job becomes to get it to the next guy, and that guy's job is to take it or swing, you know, take the shot or swing it. So our what we call relocation needs to be a little bit better, so we can find those little, you know, when two or three guys converge on the ball, we can find those little alleyways a little more cleanly. But other than that, there was a hell of a lot of good stuff on the tape too.
You guys have shown that ability to move the ball at times, especially since Mark came. Where's the challenge of creating it, not only in the playoffs as it kind of slows down a little bit, but against this team and the way they defend?
Well, I think this is what we would call a heavy load team, right? A lot of the good defensive teams are heavy load teams. So when something's happening in a penetrating fashion, either via the pass or via the dribble, they're going to send bodies to protect. And you know, if you beat the bodies, you're at the rim. If you don't beat the bodies, you're going to have to find the next one out. So it's just again, we did that really well, right? I just think it's you're never going to do it perfect, but we got to inch it further towards each possession, finding the right next play.
Giving up 32 points in that fourth quarter, was that because your offense stalled or your defense regressed?
Well, I think probably, you know, I said that the offense is a real key to this series, right? That if they're going to be playing with it off the rim, they're going to be coming at you pretty hard. And obviously we went through a streak there where we didn't make some shots. And we had a couple critical turnovers as well. So, I don't know, Doug, I think we put our defense in a bind because of the offense, yeah.
Do you think any of the fourth quarter difficulty was exhaustion because they're playing such a thin lineup and they're playing
No, I don't. I really don't think so. I mean, I think that, you think, it was a quick turnaround. You're on the road, travel. They played a lot of people. There's some stuff, but I didn't see. I didn't see a whole lot of, like, oh, we're just outmatched here because we don't have the physical wind or strength or whatever here. I just think that the game was right there in the balance with 3 minutes to go. And you need some breaks. You need to make some breaks. You need the ball to bounce your way a little bit, and we didn't get really any. And but I don't buy this. It's like it's like before the game they said they got 3 or 4 guards that kind of look like Kyle out there, and I'm like, well, they can't play them all at the same time. They're going to put 5 guys out there, and our 5 guys I thought were in pretty good shape.
Your 2 big minutes when you played Ibaka and Gasol together didn't work out. I think it was maybe like a -8.
Yep.
Something like. What did you see anything specific from those minutes?
Well, it didn't go very well, right? So I mean, we need to look at it. I think, and again, I don't like to try to judge it on one little, stint. You could get all over me for the lineup I had out there to start the fourth quarter again if you wanted to. And then you go back and watch the tape, and we missed a layup that would have put us up 9, and we took a charge that got a kick out for a 3 that didn't get called, and then Fred missed a wide open 3, and all of a sudden the 7-point lead was gone. But they played actually really well, just didn't go well. So I just think that we're going to play that lineup. We're going to play Serge and Mark together. We've just got to make sure that we get them a little more comfortable in what they're doing, both offensively and defensively. And I think there's some very specifically defined roles that we can find for him to do that.
Kyle said you guys need to find more looks for Danny, more shots for Danny, and better shots for Danny. As Danny said himself, he's not a guy that you run a ton of plays for. So how do you find that balance between getting him going and not kind of overdoing it?
Yeah, we need to run some more plays for him, Josh. I think we did try to run a couple there last night, and they just didn't quite get to where they needed to get to, or it just looked like it was a shot presenting itself, and they closed it down a little bit, and you got to move on to the next play. But I agree. I think, I always assume that in a scheme that we run offensively and that they're doing defensively, that the drive and kick and swing is going to get him his share, right? Because they're rotating. It's not like they're face guarding and not they're making rotations, and it's just got to find him more. And again, our relocation, and maybe his in particular, needs to be a little bit better. And then you're talking about 3 to 4 feet sometimes. The angle that it can't see you is the fine line, and we gotta really go over that with a fine tooth comb here and make sure we can kind of tweak that a little bit. Yeah, I just think, again, his natural instincts as a player are to just play super hard, right? Do whatever it takes. And then he's also got natural instincts as a leader. But I think that's where he's grown the most, right? I think he's just like fully on board all the time. You know what I mean? He's focused in the film. He's through the walkthroughs. His IQ is super high, and he's imparting that knowledge. It's just that he's switched on right now, and that is showing up, I think, in his play.
Pascal spent
Brooke shooting a 28 or 30-foot 3, or Kyle doing it. What kind of stress is it putting on the defense? What are you willing to live with? And where do you see it going?
Well, I think it's a really interesting part of the game right now, that the 3-point shot has become such a humongous part of the game so quickly, right? In like 5 years, it's just gone, right? And people playing small, people playing 5s that shoot, all those things. It's really interesting. And then now this next evolution that you're seeing, you're seeing Steph shooting bombs. You're seeing Eric Gordon, where he spaces, is 8 feet behind the line. You see, you're seeing you're seeing all kinds of people now saying, okay, if you're going to be able to get to me on the line and contest this shot, maybe if I'm 6 or 8 feet behind it, I'll have a cleaner look, and you got a longer run to contest. I forgot your question, but I think that's interesting. I think that's interesting, the way you can see the game going that way. Well, the stress is spacing, right? The stress is spacing because you're driving into the paint, you got to close down and help, and the ball gets kicked out, and usually you have 1 or 2 strides back, and now maybe you got 3 or 4. Just spacing.
Go ahead. Pascal spent the last 7 games playing against the primary matchup has been 2 of the best defenders in the world. Quite understandably, his efficiency has dropped. Would you like to see him doing anything different? Are you happy with what he's doing? And how do you get him maybe cleaner looks other than the corner threes he's just not made?
I don't think those are going to get much cleaner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that.
Yeah, and he's got to take those. Do we want him to do other things? Yeah, I mean, listen, I think he's got to do what he's been doing. First of all, extremely pleased that he's remained aggressive and taking this on, right? That he's got the ball and he's aggressive and he's going in there. It's just now him getting in the situations that, does he have a high percentage finish? Is there 2 people there? Is there a bigger body there that turns it into a lower percentage opportunity? Then he's got to get off those. Because obviously, again, we keep saying that if 2 people are on the ball, somebody somewhere's got to be open. And I think that's, again, it's a fine line, right, of growth. He's garnering that type of attention. To his credit, he's become that good and that effective, and that's just the next step for him to take.
I know you're totally locked in. I know you're totally locked into this series, but does a very small part of your brain say, "Oh, this experience, it's really going to teach him where he does need to make that growth"?
Yeah, a little bit always, right? I think one of the things he's done this year very quickly, right, is adjusted and grown and continue to, quickly. And I say it seems like every week he gets a little bit better, and even within a series he'll do it. And I thought one of the things that was interesting was he struggled all year against Orlando, and then all of a sudden he comes out and figured out how to play against those guys, and I think he'll do the same in this series.